The Oven Podcast. Your table is ready. You can follow me.
Welcome to another episode of The Oven Podcast. I'm Mario, this is Franco, and you know what we do. We sit down, we have a THC-infused meal at different restaurants across New York.
I'm going to take this away from Mario. I want to introduce, one of my favorite cast members from the greatest social experiment ever seen on television, Survivor 42, Hoboken Mike Turner.
What is up? Nice
Dude,
to meet you, Franco.
seriously,
Nice to meet you, Mario. It's a pleasure to be here. I gotta tell you, I've been looking forward to this.
Me too. I've been texting him every week. I can't wait for this guy. Every week I'm watching more and more Survivor.
And I've been hearing about it every day.
Yes. And I'm gonna admit, I was a little nervous about this, obviously. I'm a novice.
Yeah, and so he's not much of a smoker. We're not going to be doing the infused meal again tonight. So, but it's nice to have you on to talk about why you don't smoke or the experience you had when why you did smoke back in the day.
Absolutely. I'm here. I'm open. I'm ready to talk about
Yeah.
why I haven't and maybe why I should give it a try.
That's it. So for those of you who don't know, Mike was on Survivor 42. It's a new era of Survivor.
Yes.
Survivor 2.0, if you will. 26 days rather than 39.
26 days, shorter periods where you get to socialize and take a break, so it's all quick.
Okay.
Different game, but listen, still Survivor.
Still surviving, man. Yeah, so Jeff was even saying faster, more dangerous, and much more intense.
Yes.
And that's kind of what it was, man. It was cool to watch. And what was even cooler, when I'm watching season 41, season 42 comes out, and you guys had no idea that it was still like that.
No idea.
Because they filmed seasons, 2 seasons in 1 year.
Yeah, back to back.
So it was cool because they didn't know that any of this was happening, like a whole new era of it.
As a matter of fact, when we found out it was 26 days, we were pretty disappointed because obviously, being a Survivor fan for all those years, you're used to the 39-day format.
Yep.
We were a little disappointed. However, as the game is going on, you realize how fast-paced it is.
Yep.
You're saying, like, I don't know if we could have done this pace for 39 days anyway.
Oh yeah, and it was so much fun to watch, man. I'm so happy you're finally sitting here. One more question before we get to our appetizers. How beautiful was Fiji, man?
I get that question a lot. And I have to say, Fiji, the island, was beautiful. The accommodations sucked. The food was terrible. The beds were no beds. Obviously, was terrible. The ground was terrible. But the island itself, obviously, you go out there and sometimes I used to get up early. I was the first one up every day to sit out by the water and just watch the sun come up. It's an amazing. And then you say to yourself, this is the same sun that I'm watching when I'm in Hoboken, and it's the same sun that's here, and it's coming off that water. It's amazing.
That's
beautiful.
Amazing, man. It really is, like, when you think about it, like Jeff's Pro says, it is a crazy social experiment, like that's seen on television.
And that was the fault in my game. Like I played almost a perfect game because I literally played it the way I planned to play it. Lay low in the first part with my tribe body.
Yeah.
And then when Jenny got out, I snuck in with High and got High to believe that I was on his side.
Yeah.
And then at the merge, I laid low for the first 3 votes, then gave my opinion, and then I said, when 6, 7 people left, I'm going to make my moves. I did it perfectly.
Some people just don't like that.
Well, but here's where I fucked up. Jury management. I thought they would just respect the game. I didn't give a shit. They're going to see how good I was.
Yep.
And I should have realized that they were going to be salty. And they were. And that's the part of the game that I should have went into that final tribal much more aggressive as to what I did as opposed to taking a step back because they were attacking me because I didn't think it out. I thought everything out every fucking day out there except for that day. I was literally laying there saying, how am I going to tell my family that I just won Survivor? Because I really thought I had won.
I thought you did too, man. Seriously.
And to be honest, Marianne, who I love, Romeo did nothing. Marianne did just a little more than Romeo.
Yeah, no, Romeo just kind of skated a little bit.
Romeo was terrible.
Well, I think they say like 65% of people polled think that you should have won. Like, so how does that make you
which
feel?
is crazy.
It makes me feel good on one side. You know the truth, and here's the thing is, Survivor edits you for who you are, like as a person, but they also edit you for where you finish. So if I had won, right, let's say I won, they're going to show that I played a good game, especially near the end, made a lot of moves. I made a lot of moves at the end, but they meant it showed who I really, like the relationships I made out there. Because a lot of people love who I was out there, which is who I was. But they wouldn't have been able to show that and me being a good player because it would have been too easy for the public to see. There would have been no suspense at the end.
Yeah.
That's why I say they edit you for who you are, like your personality, but they're definitely going to edit you where you finish. because if they can't make me look great throughout the show and then I win,
Of course.
there's no suspense. So I wouldn't have had as good of an edit. Me finishing second gave me also a great edit. So I kind of got the best of both worlds because I made it to the end. I played a good game. I did everything. I checked off everything on the Survivor bucket list except for win. And you know what? The truth of the matter is, would I have loved $1 million? Hell yeah. But it wouldn't have changed my life. It might have changed my kid's life a little bit. I still would have been doing the same shit I'm doing now. It wouldn't have really made a difference. And I was more happy that I was able to keep and portray who I really am. Which again, like you said, you got to know who you are.
Exactly.
And I know who I was going in and what the perception probably would have been. And I think I made sure who I was shown much more than what a perception would have been. It wouldn't have been shown if I won.
I'm telling you, after that season, I was like, I feel like I know Mike, and like I haven't even met him yet. Then when I called you on the phone, it's funny because like, you know, some of these guys that we bring on, you don't know what they're going to be like. You know, we've never met before, and sometimes like they're some of the comedians, so you don't even know what they really sound like.
True.
Like when you jumped on the phone, I was like, oh my god, he sounds exactly like.
You knew the actual person.
Yeah.
That's so correct. And the thing is, like, I remember when we first got out there, I said, I cursed a lot, do I have to watch myself? And they were like, no, be who you are. We want you. And I remember them saying, we do the confessionals. You know what the confessionals are? That's the only time nobody can hear you. You're literally just talking. You can say whatever you want.
Where do they film those? Like, are you outside the camp or?
Well, yeah, we're outside the camp. They bring you out to the outskirts of your island, and you have to walk. So you walk. They walk it. Doesn't matter what time, no matter how much training. They walk to the outskirts and they sit you in this area, and then you can talk. Nobody can hear you. So to me, I was gonna be this fucking guy in camp who was, hey, let me make you a bed for you. And then when I got out there, I fucking ripped whoever I wanted to rip. I told the truth.
Yeah.
This fucking kid's an idiot. Fucking high, a dumbass. You know, I was honest, and they loved it. I mean, some of the stuff I look back at, what the fuck was I thinking? You know, saying we chopped High's head off, look at it rolling down the road. You know?
Yeah.
And I look, I go, oh, what was I thinking? But I didn't care at the time. I was tired. Sometimes I was pissed. And so I said, that's the time I can vent. And then I come back and, hey, guys, that was quick. What I did learn is the longer you were at a confessional was the longer you had to set.
Yep.
You got to be careful. I had to be careful how long I stayed out there, and I definitely paid attention how long anybody else was out there.
I
The
always
more you
thought-
had to say, the more they were talking to you.
Right.
Oh, for sure. And it's like, I feel like whenever you have an idol, you have an amulet, and it's like, you're just showing that. I'm thinking like, these guys are at camp chilling back here. Like, they can definitely see this. But
No, you can't. They can't.
but do they bring everyone? Like,
Yeah.
all right.
First of all, we do about, depending who you are,
Okay.
somewhere between the guy they didn't care about, like 3, to the main people who they thought were, you know, we're doing stuff. It's 8 a day. You're out there a lot.
8 a day.
After every challenge, after every tribal, after every major event, you're going out there.
So is there actually that much free time?
No. 39 days there is. We literally had no free time. Matter of fact, the shit when Chanel, if you remember, when Chanel lost her vote and didn't tell anybody,
Yep.
she literally just, so when she was leaving, she left right from the right after the challenge. We're fucking saying, we can't lose your vote. She knew that I didn't have a vote. She knew that our alliance was me, her, Daniel, and Jenny. So she goes, and we knew where she was going because Jenny just went, and Jenny says, you have to gamble your vote. Jenny
Yeah.
chose not to. So we said none of us can gamble our vote. We can't take a chance. If we go to Shipwheel Island, we can't do it. She leaves. I literally looked at her, I go, "Need your vote." And she leaves, and that dumbass did it anyway. And after she
man.
fucking told Omer, she really needs she told Omer,
Yeah,
and
told
then she
him.
fucking.
What do you think Omer's gonna do?
He's gonna, right.
Like,
and
come
she
on.
fucked him too.
Yeah, no, she did.
So-
Omer was a smart guy with that.
To me, he was the best player on our season.
He-
Socially,
he-
strategically.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't see, nobody saw that coming. Honestly, I thought it was the kid I take lunch off in 5th grade. Did nothing about it.
He was when they
was
show
good.
like the original, like when everyone's out there. I looked at him and was like, man, he might be one of the first to go
I thought so too. I thought he fooled me.
for sure.
I feel like sometimes the directors set you up to like making the viewer think that someone's not as strong or not as good,
Yeah.
and then next thing you know, they're in till the end.
One thing we always
And
wondered.
that's again, they edit you how you finish, not how you.
Exactly.
One thing we always wondered, because especially in past seasons, I didn't really notice it in this season so much. There's always like one or two guys or one or two girls that have like work gear on, like suits, slacks. Is that do the directors make you like?
Well, the producers. What happens is, obviously, the concept is you get shipwrecked on an island and you have to survive.
Yeah.
So who you are, if you're a lawyer, you'll know I'm probably gonna be wearing a suit. Me, I was a fireman, wearing my fireman shirt. So you kind of wear what your persona is, your archetype is. So if you get shipwrecked, you don't have time. So somebody like Daniel had friggin' lawyer shoes on the whole time.
Which sucks.
Which
Like-
suck. You're right. And that's what you roll with. So what you do is you have to send in what you want to wear, and they have to approve it. You get two shirts, two shorts, a pair of pants, one socks, and one underwear, and one long sleeve shirt. And they have to approve it. It has to fit your persona, or else, Daniel's a lawyer, so that's why he would wear what he would. Lindsay, she's into athletics and nutrition. So Jonathan's just a fucking behemoth that's just like a Neanderthal, like Aquaman, and he's got his white dreads and his fucking cut off shirts and stuff like that. So everybody wore what fits their persona. Makes sense.
Interesting. How's the Gallimard?
It's fucking amazing. I gotta tell you, you guys were right. This place is really good.
Yeah, so tonight we're at Mio Posto in Merrick on Long Island. You got the house salad, right?
Yes, very
And the fried Gallimard. You got the mushrooms. You got the baked clams. I got the same thing. They always kill it over here. Always good.
Every time, man. And we got a lot of entree coming out.
I'm hungry.
Man, so we were talking about Jonathan real quick before we cut out for entrees and stuff. I always wanted to ask like the hardest challenge, but it had to have been when you guys were in the water, like that third challenge, but he had to pull you out.
Yeah, I hate to admit it, because it was a little embarrassing for me, because I'm a proud dude, and when Jeff stopped, I was like, what the hell, man? But there's sometimes you just gotta say, and honestly, we were out there for when you're watching the show, you look at, they're only out there for 3 minutes. No. We were out there about 35 minutes, and quite frankly, I'm a city kid. I swam when it rained really hard, and we had to, the sewage back up. That's my swimming pool as a kid. I'm out in Fiji, and this water's over my head. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing out here at some point? I had more salt than I had in this Gallimard out there in my mouth. So when he stopped it, I was obviously insulted because I didn't want to stop it, but I understood. We were out there a long time, swallowed a lot of water, and quite frankly, at that point, everybody was so spent, we probably wouldn't have been able to get the ladder up and finish it.
Like it would have become like almost dangerous.
Yeah, and I think that's what happened. I think there was something at the word, the tide, and it got progressively worse. It was the water out there. It was freezing. The water was rough, and you have poor Jenny who weighs like 100 pounds is getting tossed around. It was hard, and honestly, I was getting tossed around. It was a tough day. But then you have Jonathan, this behemoth. He is Aquaman, by the way.
He swims like a dolphin.
Yeah, he does. He actually does.
When they show the under the water view of him swimming, I'm like, this guy doesn't even need to use his arms.
And if I'm being, he's better than what they showed. Like they showed he was unbelievable. He's better than that. That's how crazy it is. He's an amazing. I've never seen somebody so big and so muscular be so agile as he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still kicked his ass in puzzles and fire.
And
fire.
Jonathan? And fire.
Fire is big.
Yes.
Dude, when he was holding that ladder by himself, like Jeff Probst was even like, this, like he should not be able to do that. Like, and he was just standing there, and she was climbing right up, right down.
And that's Lindsay. Lindsay. By the way, they had the two biggest, beasts, challenge beasts of the season. Lindsay was amazing too, and Lindsay would probably look that much better if Jonathan wasn't there.
Yeah.
Really, she didn't look as good as she really is, because she's a beast. If you watch the first episode, when we do the first challenge, and she's running, did you see how fast she? I was like, holy crap!
That's the first thing my dad said to me. When I put it on, he's like,
She was like a cartoon.
her feet were moving so fast on the sand. But my dad didn't know who we were. Like, he's never seen Survivor.
Right.
So like your season was the first season he's ever seen. So he had no idea what was going on. I'm like pausing and explaining. He's like, who are you interviewing? You just want to know who I'm interviewing. So, you come up, Lindsay comes up, and she starts running, and he tells me to pause it. He's like, you're interviewing her? She goes, that's the fastest woman I've ever seen.
She was. That's what I noticed. I'm like, holy shit, they got this guy Jonathan and her. We're in trouble.
Yeah.
We're in trouble.
Yeah, that was a good squad.
Yeah, it was a good squad. So
I can picture you
it was unfair.
I'm telling you, when he said that, I was cracking up. But he loves it now. He actually he went to the doctor, came back, and was like, how many did you watch without me? I'm like, 3. He's like, I'll watch them when you go up.
Once you get hooked, man. Listen, Survivor's an amazing show. It's the Rolls Royce of reality shows. It's, as you said, it's the greatest social experiment it is. You know, you think you're out there, and we have so many different types of people, different types, different ages, different religions. It's crazy. And you go out there and you say, get along, trust everybody, don't trust anybody,
Yeah.
and then whoever you get rid of is going to come back and vote who should win.
That's the craziest part to me. You know, we've had so many conversations with my buddies, and they're like, they just sometimes like some of them just wish that the jury wasn't even a thing. It's like the jury could be a thing to get you to a top 3, and then the top 3 battle it out for, you know,
Yeah.
for the game of Survivor.
As of right now, I wish that was the case, obviously. The jury didn't do me good. However, listen, you know, that's what makes the game amazing, though, because there are a lot of parts of the game that you have to at least worry about, think about, and quite frankly, in my head, as whatever, I always thought jury is black and white. You go to a jury, you give them the facts, and then they decide guilty or not guilty, right? And that's what they go on. And I literally, in my heart, I'm saying, they're the jury. They're going to listen to the facts of what happened in the game, and then they'll decide who played a better game. There's much more. There's emotions involved. There's people who have, quite frankly, maybe have an agenda. I'm not saying for my particular jury, but just in general. So you don't know, and that all plays a factor into what's going on in the jury. My mistake in the game is I should have thought about that. Every night I went to bed, I laid there and was awake, thinking about every person left in the game and what moves they can possibly make that would affect me and what moves I can make that would affect them and how would I get to the end. I never thought about the jury in that way. I never said, okay, this person's on the jury, how would they act? What would they be mad at me? And I didn't do that. I should have did that because then I could have defended it more. Instead, quite frankly, when I did what I did when I won the Final Five and when I beat Jonathan in Fire, when I made some moves with Omar and talked Marion into going against Omar, I said, I did enough.
I got this.
And you know what? I got Survivor relaxed. Whenever you get Survivor relaxed, that's when you get bit in the ass.
Yep.
And quite frankly, you got to give it to Marion. Marion came to Final Tribal with guns a-blazing.
She really did. I was actually very surprised. I was going to ask if she seemed like she was deserving, but to a certain extent. It's like we talked about before. If the public, it's like when you're betting on sports. If the public is going 60-40, you know, maybe lean towards that 60.
Yes, but here's the thing. You know, Bill Parcells said it once. He said, "Your record is what your record is. You win the games that you won." It's not like I could have won 9 games and we only won 7. Here's the bottom line. Marianne won because the jury voted for her. Yeah. She's a winner. That's it. Yeah. I obviously didn't do something right not to win, or else I would have won. Mm-hmm. And that's how I feel about it. So it's, you know what though? You learn from it. I'm learning from what happened that day. And the next time I'm on, I hope, you know, I'll be better. I'll be ready for that.
I honestly see no reason why you wouldn't be back on as like a fan favorite or something.
Of course, yeah. The people like saying, you know, 65% of people, like I said, polled say that you won. I'd hope they bring you back.
Obviously, I would love to go back, but to be honest with you, if say for some reason I don't, Survivor has given me so much that it gave me a second life. You got to remember, I was 27 years as a fireman. I'm retired. My kids are older. They're out of college. I meet my wife Stacy. I'm kind of on the back nine, man. I'm starting to coast a little bit, and then at 57 years old, I get this call from Survivor, and it sets my whole life into a different trajectory that, quite frankly, I can never imagine. It got me to do things and go places that I never thought I would do. So, I'm happy. I would love to go back, but if Survivor didn't think I was okay to go back, you know what? In my heart, they've given me a lot already. Of
course, man.
That's the difference too, and I hate to say this, but it's what I felt the difference between an older generation and a younger generation. I hate to say this and get people pissed, but it seemed like sometimes the younger generation thought the Survivor should be grateful that they had them. The older generation, I was thankful that Survivor had me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a little different for the most part, but I'm just thankful that Survivor gave me the opportunity.
Of course, man.
I was honored.
And you always play your best golf on the back nine, so.
That's what I'm talking about. In Hoboken, there's this college there, Stevens Technical School of Institute of Technology.
Yes.
It's one of the top 3, actually, one of the top 10 engineering schools in the country. As a Hoboken kid, I wasn't even allowed on the campus. We used to go up there and fuck around, rob tennis balls. And
the Spaldings.
Right, and fuck with the cops up there and get chased. So So tomorrow, I'm going there to teach a class.
Get the fuck
Is
out of
that
here.
fucking, I'm like, I wasn't even allowed on campus. And now I was asked last week if I could come up there and talk about a class based on a Survivor episode for management. Being a good
actually-
leader.
that's actually
And I was
so
like,
awesome.
are you fucking kidding me? And she goes, yeah, we really be on. And meanwhile, now I can't. I was like, oh, you really? You really want me there? And I laughed. She goes, oh, we would love you to come up. And I was like, fucking yeah, I'm coming. And I'm going to be like, to me, I call my high school
say you call
friends.
your boys?
I call my boys like, you're not gonna fucking believe this. Right, babe? Did I do that? I said, you fuckers, I'm in Stevens. I'm teaching a class. My son went to Western University, which is another great academic school.
yeah.
Great academic school in Connecticut. I called him right. I go, guess where I'm fucking teaching the class?
Is he still in school?
No, he's done, but he laughed too because he knows the story. Like I tell my kids the stories about Steven,
That's
like
so funny,
getting
man.
chased by the cops up there and fucking getting in trouble and never even listen. I couldn't spell Stevens back then. Never mind being at school. Now I'm going to be there talking about a management class. It's hysterical to me.
And that's just something like, that's full circle.
Exactly.
That's full circle.
Something like you said, Survivor
Yeah,
brought
listen,
to you that you never thought you'd.
Yeah.
I got a high school diploma. And barely, by the way. I didn't excel. So I got a high school diploma. Then when I was out with these guys, they're like, look, I'm going to Princeton, I'm going to Stanford. I'm like, holy fuck. They're like, Mike, where'd you go? I went, HHS. HHS, we never heard about that. I said, oh yeah, Hoboken High School.
All right, so we got the chicken heroin, the veal valdestana, and the chicken Frankie. Me and Frank are on date night right now. We
Yeah,
split
we
the
are.
valdestana
I like that, though.
and the chicken.
It's cute.
I'm not, I'm a little greedy.
That's very good.
So, Mike, I just want to touch on the fact that you're not a weed enthusiast.
Yes.
You don't eat edibles. That's the reason for we decided not to infuse tonight's meal. But for us, it was a big deal to get you on. So the infusion is secondary. But I gotta say, what made you decide to come on the oven?
When Franco first contacted me, my first thought is, he's got the wrong dude. And I actually said, I said, Mike, I gotta be honest with you. I love what you're doing, but you got the wrong guy. I don't smoke weed. I tried it once when I was 17. I got so paranoid. I never did it again. By the way, when I first tried 17, that's like 1979, guys. It's a long time ago. But it wasn't my thing. However, I do understand all the benefits. And now that it's legal, quite frankly, I'm saying like, hey, maybe I should give it a try. But I'm nervous because I still have the stigma in my head of
Yeah,
when I
man.
was younger, oh, you get paranoid. You're a junkie. You're a pothead. You're stupid. You're burning, brain cells. All those stigmas that came along with it in the 70s and 80s, and I'm nervous to try it. However, I'm intrigued by it because I do hear all the benefits. It's obviously good for medicinal purposes. It's also good to calm anxieties down. It's good to get a good night's sleep. So I'm interested in it. I'm nervous about trying it because I'm not sure how I will react to it.
Of course, man.
And that's it. And I'm an older guy, so I hate saying that I'm older, by the way. But I am an older guy now, and I don't want to, freak out and not know what I'm doing. But I'm interested. I'm curious. I'm curious about the whole infusion and food stuff. Like I said, I don't know much about it.
And what anything Franco's taught me, it's that it's all about dosing responsibly.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Franco runs New York Pot Butter, NYPB, and when I order his products, I know if he tells me this is 30 milligrams, it's 30 milligrams. So that was my way of being able to say, okay, 30 was too much for me when I first started because
Right.
I'm the lightweight at the table.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Honestly,
would smoke me under the table.
You might smoke him.
So,
You'd be surprised.
but for me, 30 milligrams, whatever it was, I knew that if I cut that in half or if I cut it in fours and I tried some, maybe instead of taking, a painkiller before bed because I have hip problems, maybe instead I'm taking an edible and I feel better about it than, taking a narcotic or something like that to get a good night's sleep. So I definitely, I support it, and it's
That's
all about
exactly
dosing
the way I
responsibly.
feel. I'm saying there are so many people being prescribed medications that maybe they don't have to be on these anxiety medications, these depression, whatever, and even pain. Like, getting older, instead of popping these pain pills where you can kind of become addicted to, maybe there's something more medicinal with, infused food that, quite frankly, it's safer, which is crazy to say because, 40 years ago, nobody would have said that. They would have
Right.
said, oh, you can't do that, you're a pothead, dope, no. The whole,
Yeah.
the whole thing, and quite frankly, you kind of you kind of misread that there's much more good to come out of cannabis than bad sometimes.
Without a
And again,
doubt.
I'm a novice. I don't really know anything about it, but I'm hoping to learn some more because I am getting older and things are starting to hurt a little bit. Go to bed with some peace.
Oh man. Well, you got us here now, so
Yes.
literally anytime you need anything, you're right in Jersey, bro. That's
Cool.
That's such an easy ride over.
So I want to go back to Survivor for a second.
Yes.
Behind the scenes, is there anything that goes on that you wish fans knew about?
Everything behind the scenes is exactly what you see. Like, the biggest questions I get is, oh, do they give you this? Do you have toilet paper? Are you sleeping in the bed later on? Do they give you this?
No.
What you see is the truth.
Yeah.
And I'll even go a step further. I think it's worse. Because what a lot of people don't know is that our tribes are on different islands. So when you have to go to a challenge or to tribal, you have to get shipped. And when you get shipped to an island, you're in a hull of a boat, everything's blacked out. You have the producer sitting there watching. You can't even make eye contact because you absolutely cannot have any communications off camera. And it's a great rule because, you know what? The truth is, Survivor puts in a lot of money, a lot of time to get an authentic product, and we're there to give it. They don't want us superseding that and quite frankly, gypping the audience of what they deserve.
Yeah.
And we all believe that. So that part of it sucked. But what even sucked more was sometimes the boats couldn't go to shore because it was too shallow.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of coral. So you would have to walk maybe a quarter of a mile from the boat, and the water's up to your waist. And you say, oh, what's so big about that? Except that the coral is sharp, so you have to wear your sneakers. Now your shoes are wet for the whole night.
Crushed.
And it's cold. It's, believe it or not, at night, it's some of the coldest nights I've spent in Fiji because it's raining, you're wet, nothing's ever dry. And you literally, so you get done with a tribal, it's pitch dark, you're probably out there 3 or 4 hours. It's probably between 12 and 2 in the morning. And now you have to walk a quarter of a mile onto this boat, into a hull, and sit there freezing to get back to camp and then walk through the sand wet. Now you go to lay down in your camp and you're full of sand, you're soaking wet, and you have to sit there. And quite frankly, as you see, there's no blankets, you're laying on the ground, there's bugs crawling on you, and you kind of don't see that. So you're even more miserable. And they'll show you it raining a little bit, but I was there, it rained 5 days in a row.
Oh,
5 days in a row, no cover. The drops just hitting you in the face all night, and you're just trying to figure out a way just to get one spot on your body warm. So you're miserable. And I don't think people understand it as much as it is. It's brutal. However, I will say this. I realized, me being a little older and being a little more seasoned in the world, I was able to handle some of those things a little better and put it away.
Yep.
And some other people in the cast, it was really getting to them. And I went, if it's getting to them, that's good for me. Strategically, that's good
100%.
for me. The more irritated, so I was like, fuck it, let it rain. Fuck it, we don't need to eat another day. And that's how he really felt. To me, I was trying to say, strategic, it's a better move. I got to be mentally more stronger than them, and that makes me able to play a better game.
Well, that's the second time you brought up the age difference, and so for you, the wisdom and the mental toughness that comes with your experience as you age, you think really played a huge role in your success?
Yeah. Listen, 22-year-old Mike Turner would have been out there and say, fuck this, I'm going to run through the wall, I'm going to kick ass, nobody out there could beat me. 57-year-old Mike Turner saying, like, I'm not what I used to be, I got to work my way, I got to pick my spots, I'm not going to beat the world up by, running, killing every challenge. Maybe I shouldn't do as good in this challenge, brings so much light to me. I'm not saying I would have won the challenge, I'm just saying I didn't care in the sense of where I finished, because I knew probably you have a guy like Jonathan and Lindsay out there, I don't want to show them that I'm not even that competitive yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because in Survivor, everybody reads everything. Everybody reads your look, everybody reads where your eyes go, everybody reads the smile, everybody reads how fast. When Tori won her first 2 challenges, okay, and I was like, we got to get rid of her.
Yeah.
We got to get rid of her. She's good.
She's good.
She's a threat, right away. And she's all happy she won the challenges, but she put a shining light onto me. And I'm saying, I want to keep Jonathan, not only because I liked him, but Jonathan was the best Shield I ever had. As long as Jonathan's there, they ain't paying attention to what I'm doing physically. Meanwhile, me and Jonathan were working the angles the whole time.
Yeah, and Jonathan knew that too.
And me and Jonathan talked about it. And I said, Jonathan, as long as you're creating Shield, we're covered. And it worked out good because behind the scenes, I'm working on making sure he doesn't go anywhere. Mm-hmm. And he's, quite frankly, he had a lot of power too because he was with the Taku 4 at the end where they were buying. They were like, we should get rid of Mike. And he's like,
Yeah.
no, we could use Mike. You know, and he did a good job there too. Everything plays a part in the game. When you watch from TV, being a big fan for, since the beginning, 2000, you don't realize and think of everything that you have to put into playing the game. Once I was out there, again, I told you before, when I'm playing on my couch and I'm wrong, I go get a Diet Coke. When I'm playing the game and I make a mistake, Jeff's going, and the game, it stuffs my thoughts, it's over. So it's much more immediate in terms of what you do. You think about things a lot harder and a lot longer when you're out there as opposed to that when you're sitting on your living room couch.
Well, you don't know that feeling, Jeff, snuffing your torch.
Hell no, I don't. That's it. Jeff has never snuffed my torch, thank God.
So I know before you talked about, the water scenario. Was there another moment, as a contestant where maybe you were scared or nervous a little bit more than you were in that moment?
I'm going to clarify, and I was never afraid. And any challenge out there, because in my head, I had to think to myself, they're not going to let me drown.
Right.
They can't let me drown, right?
You hope.
But even if, no, and I mean, I'll say a couple of times, I almost did, but I had to believe that. So that way it made me more daring.
Uh-huh.
If I thought for any amount of time that I can get hurt out there, or they would not protect, the production would not protect me, I could get hurt, and then it would make me much more cautious.
Yep.
I never thought that because I'm saying they're never going to let me go long enough where I can die. And quite frankly, if I died, it would have been great TV. That's the mentality I had. It'd be great TV, and quite frankly, I become an icon on Survivor. I'm the only
That's
one.
it, man.
But no, in seriousness, I had to believe that they wouldn't let anything happen to us, even though, quite frankly, they're letting it go a long time in a lot of different places. Like there's a couple times Romeo, who couldn't swim, was in bad positions, and nobody was coming from him. Nobody was coming from him saying Romeo, and I would have to go and get him. And I'm not the greatest swimmer, but I had to believe that they would always keep on, and they did. Listen, they were very safe. They had divers around. They made it a very safe environment that made me feel comfortable.
Yeah, there's a lot. Is there a lot of production team
Absolutely.
behind the scenes? Yeah.
Yes. It's a lot of cameras, because they're getting every angle, and they have to get every mic, and of course they have to be safe. Honestly, it's an amazing job as to what they do out there.
I want to jump back real quick. You said when we were talking about the tribal, walking the tribal, as far. Were you at tribal for 3 or 4 hours sometimes?
Yeah. Sometimes
Get the fuck out of here!
Yeah.
3 or 4
remember,
hours.
first of all, tribal. Jeff has a big thing. Tribal is for us. Tribal doesn't end till we say it ends. So it wasn't like Jeff said, tribal's over, that's it. He
Okay.
made sure that everybody was okay with what they were going to do. And so it could last for as long as you want. We decided when tribal was over. And sometimes, 3 or 4 hours you're out there. Final tribal, my final tribal was like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh,
Oh,
4 or 5 hours just getting ripped apart.
I got beat up. I was so pissed then. I was like, keep calm. But listen, part of the game. When you sign up, you take a chance of either playing well and looking good, or you can come out there and people's like, what the fuck were you doing?
Yeah.
So and I think I got a little of both. There were times when I lost my idol where people were like, what the fuck's he doing? Or when I gave it to
Dude, when you lost your idol, that was so funny.
and you know what, the truth, I didn't give a shit.
he's like, when you were walking, it's like, yeah, it's at one of the fork in the roads. And they're like, there's like 817 forks in the road.
But this typical fucking city kid, right? I'm fucking, it's by the fucking fork. I'm like, and I remember saying, here's the thing is, I said, honestly, when I found it, I was so nervous that somebody was going to, like you said, was going to walk on me.
Yeah, see you.
Everybody was, that's still, who's looking? I said, I can't get caught with this idol. I'm dead. The worst thing is to get caught with an idol that you're looking for, done. And then everybody would know. So I buried it really quick, and you know what? I fucking forgot. Where it was.
The whole season in general was cool, just because, like we said, Survivor 2.0.
Yeah.
He continues to change the game around, and he does a really good job, Jeff Probst.
Yeah, I think Jeff Probst is the real deal, man. I get that's one of the biggest questions I get is Jeff really the Jeff we see? Mm-hmm. I think he's more than that. He's exactly what you see. He loves the game. He has a passion for everything. He's enthusiastic about everything. Honestly, you feel like he's your friend, and that's what I felt from watching all this year. And I still feel like hopefully he thinks of me as like his friend. I know I'm not his friend, but I hope that we bonded, got some kind of. Because quite frankly, he's an awesome dude.
Yeah.
Really good dude. And he loves the game.
And he produces the game too, right?
Yes.
Which is
Executive
great.
Producers, yeah.
And he's like, out of all the game shows, like that I watch, at least it's between him and TJ Lavin for best host, hands down for the challenge.
Yes, he's good too.
TJ's the man,
TJ's a good.
but Jeff's all time, man.
Remember, and Jeff is an icon now. Jeff is the Rolls Royce of reality shows.
Yeah,
How
sure.
long has he been doing it?
Right.
Season 45 is at 23 years now.
Yeah,
Right?
When you think about it, can the show survive without him? Because he's if you think of Survivor, you think of Jeff Probst.
Yeah, it's like
And
who?
again,
Yeah,
I can't emphasize it much more than he is what he is out there. What you see is what you get, and that's really it. His enthusiasm, his love. You know, and he says to you, I love this game. Play it hard. I want you to play it hard. That's why he hates so much when people quit.
Oh, I can
Hates
imagine.
it. You put all that time in. So many people want to be on it, and you just say, I'm done. I don't want to
Yeah,
play.
like get the hell out of here, man.
You can't do that.
How cool is it though, when you first saw him walking up on you walk up on the beach, you see him, and you're the first person in your tribe he talks to.
It was weird, man. So he walks in, I'm like, I remember literally in my head saying, hit you like a ton of bricks. I said, holy fuck, I'm on Survivor, and fucking Jeff Probst is right there. It was fucking weird to me. I was like, it's Jeff Probst.
Yeah.
Like I was watching TV. And then he starts talking to me, and I actually said what I was feeling. I said,
Yeah,
wait till
yeah.
my fucking friends see this. They're going to be like, what the fuck? Because nobody knew. You remember, you can't tell anybody. So nobody knew where I was. Everybody thought I was like, I'm probably in a drug rehab. I said, hey, yeah, Mike got to go away for a little while. Meanwhile, I don't do drugs. Wait, Mike don't do it. Oh, I knew he was doing drugs all those years.
And then they see you killing it on Survivor.
Yeah.
Man, Mike, he went away, and now I see him. He's doing weed podcasts.
He lost all that weight. What the hell happened?
That'd be so cool though, when you're done, like watching with your family, watching with your friends and stuff.
Yeah. Well, the first episode was like that. I was like excited. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be on Survivor. This is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and I know what happened, but nobody else does. And then, you watch the first episode, and I had a great first episode.
Mm-hmm.
They put me, the second episode, they showed me losing the idol. I'm like, fuck.
Oh, it was great TV though.
Yeah, of course, I might expect. So now I'm realizing, holy fuck, I know what happens. I don't know what they're gonna show. So now my wife would see me, like on Monday, she could see me start getting anxious, even though I know who gets voted out, I really realized then, I don't know what's going on. There was 16, 17, 18 different games going on.
Yeah.
I only know my game. So now I'm starting to find out what game I played, what game Jenny played, what game Omar played. When Omar said, when that episode where we went to see our loved ones, and Omar said, oh yeah, I lied to Mike. That's the first time I found out that he lied to me.
That's what I'm gonna say. You watch the show and you're like,
I'm like, that
motherfucker.
motherfucker.
Before we get to dessert, can we talk about the application process a little bit?
Absolutely.
For everyone out there that has been thinking about it.
Absolutely.
I'm not one of those. I'm actually realistic. I think I would be okay on the challenge if I got in a little better shape. Big Brother, I think I'd have a shot.
I heard you're a good athlete. I think you do very well.
I'd have to get back into that. I'd have to get the
Speak
dog
well.
back like this guy over here.
I don't think it's the athlete part that's going to stop him. I think it's the outdoors part that's going to stop him. I
Survivor?
asked him to come
Yeah.
upstate with me. He says no. So.
Yeah, too many bugs.
Survivor, man.
You know that-
I gotta eat. I gotta fucking eat.
Yeah, but you know what the truth is? You never know what you can do until you get put in that situation. Like I look at him, I'm saying, what the fuck this guy, you pitch, you beat LSU. But you put yourself in that position, you never know what can happen. You surprise yourself.
You had the dog in you that day.
I also practiced for 25 years.
Well, and in truth, you've probably been practicing 25 years for Survivor in your head.
Yeah.
And that's it. Mentally, you know the game. You never know.
So do the honors. We got the
I heard about the cannoli here, the broken cannoli.
broken cannoli
I heard it was amazing.
and the ice cream tartufo.
Yeah. So let me do a
That's
little
all
bit.
you.
Look at this.
That looks like a good meatball.
Good call. I gotta be honest, that might be the best shell I've ever had from my cannoli.
Wow.
Really?
You taste that and how good
That's
it is?
amazing.
You got me excited.
All right, let's jump back into Survivor real quick before we jump into this ice cream. What was your biggest fear going to Survivor?
My biggest fear was I worked hard my whole life to be who I was and to be the person I am. My biggest fear was going on that and tearing that down by doing or being perceived as somebody different who I was in 25 days. So you work your whole life to be who you are and be the person you are, and then you go out there and just somehow you shit the bed, and now the perception of you is you're not who you really were. That was my biggest fear.
Were you like crazy nervous about being the first one first one voted out?
Yeah, everybody is. I said, I gotta get through that first vote, and historically on Survivor, there are times where people like with my archetype, being the older guy,
Yeah.
being the father figure, right away, you go to camp and you have all young kids with you, and you're like, you do this, you do that, and then all of a sudden, like, what the fuck is this guy ordering around?
Yeah.
And then you're gone. So I made a conscious effort to go out there and say, hey, this is a we game, not a me game. It's all of us. And I worked hard to build camp and everything. I did a lot of homework as to how to do stuff like that. So when out there, I never said, you guys are not helping. I was like, this is for all of us, man. Come on, man. We're doing this together. So anything I did out there, I made everybody feel they were part of it. Which I also think is a part of being, a good leader without saying you're a leader.
Without a doubt. Obviously, the last tribal, you didn't win.
No.
They kind of buried you a little bit with questions here and there. But it's like you said, it's still a game. Who from that season are you tightest with?
My tightest is Jenny. Jenny will be my friend forever, and my man Jonathan. Right now, those are the tightest I'm with, but I'm also close with, Lindsay. I'm close with Marianne. I'm close with Homer. I'm close with a lot of people. Chanel, even Chanel. Nobody would think, because me and Chanel had a little battle out there.
Yep.
And we didn't see eye to eye. But the truth of the matter, once the game is over, Chanel's a fucking great person. For the most part, everybody's a good person. They're all out there just trying to do what I was doing, trying to win $1 million and trying to play the best game. And some people make mistakes and some people don't. Nobody gets through the game without making any. So
It's a fact.
and that's it. So you just gotta hope your mistakes don't hurt you as much as other people's can hurt them.
So, experience of a lifetime.
By far.
Everyone says it, man. Sometimes you're like,
I'm telling you, put that application in.
yeah.
You surprise yourself. You're not gonna eat like this, though, brother. If they have Survivor in this room and the food, we're good. We're blessed. Being a fan, to walk into a room and not only me recognize who these people are that I watched them play and said, holy fuck, they're great players. And they come there, they walk up and say, hey, Mike, oh my God, you look great. I'm like, the fuck, you know me? It kills me and my wife. We laugh. We get in the car, we go, can you fucking believe what just happened? But we still pinch ourselves because, quite frankly,
awesome.
I'm a fan. I'm like everybody out there that watches Survivor. I appreciate the game. I love the entertainment. I love the people that play it. It's all amazing, and I'm still as into it as now as the day it started. And even though I played, I love watching Survivor. I'm so excited. September 27th, season 45. We'll be watching.
This Wednesday.
Yes, it's 90-minute episodes this year, which you should love.
90-minute episodes,
90-minute episodes.
I love that. So a lot of people were saying that they were asking them to do 90-minute episodes because the gameplay is so fast. They're cutting out some of the challenges and stuff. It's like everything's shorter, so they're trying to cram
And I
stuff
think you see
in.
more of a social game too. You see the connections that are made. It's hard with 26 days to see the connections that are made between players. They kind of showed me and Jonathan's relationship, but it was much deeper than what they even showed. Me and Jonathan really bonded out there. We were fucking boys out there, and yet me and him never had an alliance. There was never like an official alliance.
It was like unwritten.
It was unwritten. We just knew it, and we both said, "Final five, all bets are off. We go after each other." So it was cool at that point. I could fuck with him, he could fuck with me, and he did, and I did.
Hell yeah. Have you ever used a slingshot before? Because, dude, I was watching you with that slingshot. I was fucking cracking up, dude.
John, here's the thing. See, you don't understand. I'm out there, and I'm like taking both of my friggin' arms. I'm pulling it back. Like I'm falling. And Jonathan's like this with two fingers pulling it, going like this.
Yo, literally, like this, holding it down here.
And I'm saying, at this time, I'm like, how the fuck is this guy doing? What the fuck is going on? But again, that physically, I've never seen anything like that before in my life. Not in a long time. However, I kicked his ass in puzzles, and I kicked his ass in fire.
That's it.
And I let him know every day, by the way. I break his balls. I sent him a fire-making kit. I've done that. I've done a lot of shit to him.
I seen you guys working out and stuff together too. How is that? He's got to be an absolute
Listen,
moose
man,
in the gym.
first of all, he doesn't work out as hard as me. He's going to be pissed off. You know what? But he's a genetic freak.
Yep.
So if I have to work out 2 hours, he has to work out a half an hour, and he gets more benefit out of it. He's just a freak. Right. And he's as agile. Whatever he does, he's a good singer.
Really?
He sings the Little Mermaid songs. He's fucking amazing. You want to hear something funny? Listen to him singing the Little Mermaid songs.
All right. So this we ask everybody. I love just getting different people's answers from this. It's a little different than what we've been doing with all the Survivor questions, just burying you with them. But one historical figure that you could sit down to dinner with, ask any questions that they have to answer, who would it be?
Jesus Christ.
That's our third.
That's our third one.
That's crazy.
I need to know.
Need to know.
I need to know. Just ask them about it all. What are we here for?
That's.
Wow.
I
I
love
mean,
it.
no, it doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, no,
There's
it
nothing
doesn't.
else you can say.
I said Greg Maddox, and he's saying.
Listen, first, are you a Braves fan? You said Acuna before. Now it's
man.
Greg Maddox,
My
dude.
friends are gonna hear this, and
I'm gonna tell you right now. He quite frankly, the man had an 89-mile-an-hour fastball. Is one of the greatest pitchers of all time. However, he still fucking pitched for the
He
Braves,
sure did.
which is not my team, obviously.
You got something over there?
This is gonna be the hardest question of the day, isn't it?
Yep.
It's not hard. I don't think so. I don't know. I was gonna say if you had to like construct your own season, where would you choose to go?
Where would I choose to go?
Good question.
Africa,
Why?
Africa would be crazy.
because I would never go there. And so if they sent us there, if I had to construct, that's where I'd want to go. It has all the amazing elements that would make a great summer. The danger, the heat,
Yep.
the unknown. It's Africa. How many times do you get to go to continent of Africa, right?
Especially like that, and the actual,
Yeah.
and you're in Africa.
You're
like
really
that.
in, so it's a much more dangerous game. So probably Africa, if I had to choose. Never, like some people say, oh, we should do a cold weather survival. Fuck that.
Fuck that.
No cold weather.
No
It's hard
thank
enough in the heat.
Yeah.
No cold weather.
The cold, yeah. That's and it gets cold. It gets cold.
It
It's
gets
like-
cold. People don't understand. You're right. It gets freezing. Imagine being in like 10-degree weather and it gets colder at night because it's raining on you. Yeah. Not a chance.
Where would I go or where would I not go? I mean, there's a lot of places I wouldn't go.
Okay, where wouldn't you go? That's a good one.
Where wouldn't I go? No, I mean, it would have to be like Antarctica or something like that.
Yeah, that's me too. I wouldn't. No cold places.
If I can just go see like the Northern Lights real quick, and then go to Fiji for the next 36
Yeah, I'm going to see
days,
the Northern Lights at a bachelor party that I'm going to in February, not a Survivor. I'm going to be in a hot tub watching the Northern Lights.
Fair point. It's a very fair point. But listen, the truth is, if you get voted first night of Survivor, you spend 25 days in a beautiful area, just like that, watching Northern Lights like this. It's the best paid vacation you'll ever be on.
Wait. So even if you get voted out first, you're there the whole time.
The whole time. You never go home. 'Cause
Wow.
you go to Ponderosa, which is the greatest resort of all time. You get to eat whatever you want. They cook whatever you want. Masseuses. It's an amazing time. By the way, I was there for 3 hours. That's it. 3 fucking hours. I'm like, what the hell is this? Jonathan is there. We're like, he's fucking double fisting everything in sight. I'm stealing cheeseburgers off of him. I was there for 3 hours. It was. Listen, obviously I wouldn't change places, but I didn't experience the Ponderosa experience. Everybody said it was amazing. You know, they treat you like a king. Again, Survivor is the Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
I guess, it's lonely at the top. Everyone else gets to go back, eat what they want.
It's
But
true.
if you're still killing it and getting to
Crazy
the end.
enough, like maybe 5 hours after the game was over, I was on a plane coming back home.
Wow.
Fuck, no way.
Yeah, I was still fucking just
Processing everything.
processing
like,
everything that just happened in my head.
sweating, sitting there
Yeah,
next to
I'm
Lindsay.
fucking looking at Omar and fucking Linda, you mother. How dare you? How dare you?
So these are just some ridiculous questions out of a ridiculously small oven. I'll pick one out. I'll read it to you.
Now I have to give a ridiculous answer.
You can be ridiculous if you want, or be truthful.
I will always be truthful.
These questions could go all over the map, by the way.
Okay, I'm good with that.
What's the biggest lie they tell you in life?
The biggest lie they tell you in life? I was gonna, the first thing that came to my head was, it's gonna be all right. It's because sometimes it's not all right. And, the biggest lie is, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Sometimes it's not all right. You gotta learn to deal with it.
I like that.
I love that. And that's like off the top too. I'm still sitting over here, the wheels are turning.
See, like, I always throw Franco for a loop because, like, the questions, I put most of the questions in here. He puts a handful of them. And some of mine are, like, ridiculously
No,
raunchy, and he was not expecting a life question.
No,
Oh, okay, I like the raunchy ones too.
These are usually raunchy, dude. I was a little.
Last night. Oh, I thought that was another question.
The biggest lie they tell you in life. I can't come up with anything right now.
I just think of, like, when some people say it's not that easy. But in reality, like, a lot of the stuff that you tell yourself isn't that easy really is that easy.
Yes.
It's just a matter of you versus you up here.
100%. I'm a firm believer, the strongest muscle on your body is this, your brain. If you can focus on something, and my wife knows I'm like this. If I focus on it, there's nothing gonna fucking stop me. Ever. Nothing's gonna get in my way.
I can't come over. You fucking blanked me on this one. For the first time in 22 episodes, I've been blanked on an oven question.
Shit.
I guess life's been good. Life's not lying to me.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a lot of fun.
Seriously,
It's
man.
been a
appreciate
great
you
time.
being here.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't sure what to expect here. This is much more than I expected. It's a great time. And you know, the truth is, I feel like I'm just hanging out with my two friends. It's just bullshit. Which
That's
makes me feel very comfortable.
what we want, man. We want a nice homey dinner here.
Can't beat the food. You got me. You hooked me with the food.
That's it.
So we'll give you a meal. I said, I'll be there. What time?
He's like, sold.
I'm there. Because we'll feed you. Oh, they're gonna feed us, babe. We gotta go. Listen.
Yeah, let's take an hour and 45-minute Uber here. Let's come hang out. But hey, before we sign off, just let everyone know where they can find you. Instagram.
Instagram, Hoboken Mike T. That's really it. I've got my Instagram. I'm not good with Twitter. You can find me at Hoboken Mike T on Twitter, but I don't do it that much. I'm old. Social media is not my forte. However, you want to see some family content, come to see me at Hoboken Mike T. And Hoboken Brando, my new dog. Hoboken Brando.
Yes, dude.
I got a new dog. He got his own Instagram.
And he's a beauty, by the
He's
way.
a beauty, a little.
How much do you love him? You gotta love him
He's
so
fucking-
much.
He's so amazing. We have 2 weeks. I'm like, he's licking me. Unconditional love. But you know why? I feed him.
Because you,
Oh, that's why I love her. She feeds me.
everyone always says, and like the dad never wants to get a dog, and then when they get him, he
Sure.
loves him the most. Yeah,
I fought this dog for a long time. And then I said to my wife, I said, all right, you want a dog? Here is what's gonna happen. Hypoallergenic, doesn't bark, under 15 pounds, and it can't shed. Where the fuck are you gonna find a dog like that, I thought? 3 days later, she has this dog ready for, I found it, he's like this with it. And then I'm on the road for 10 hours driving to Indiana to pick the little fucker up.
Oh, in Indiana.
Indiana, that's what happens when you get married. They
What-
talk into the stupid shit.
Worth it though.
That's why it's just
Well
good.
worth it.
He's a great dog, Brandon. Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando? Yeah. I
Marlon
figured.
Brando.
I love it. I love it. Oh, that's another episode of The Oven. Mio Posto again, absolutely killed the meal. We love it here. Anytime you're in Merrick, swing on by. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because there's always an open seat for you at The Oven.
We want to thank the crew over at Mio Posto and Merrick for absolutely stacking the table with some of our favorite Italian food on the island. Whenever you're in the mood for Italian, this is the spot you should head to. Make sure you check out our YouTube page, click the subscribe button, and come back next time, because there's always an open seat for you at The Oven.